speaking of certain other entities, and it's low vibrational for the deacon board members to bump heads. That's a real mean, pissed off masculine Nisha. They always got all of these tattoos, all this satanic shit, these scowls on their faces. See, that's a programming. I gotta make a video about that too. Why are black women so pissed off all day long every day? They fell into a COINTEL program, in my opinion, right? I don't even believe a lot of black men are impregnating them. I believe these black women actually out here get paid by dark principalities to say black men are deadbeat dads while they actually go to artificial insemination banks. I used to live close to an artificial insemination bank, okay, where that's where women, go and who don't have a man, and they go get the seed from random men, right? And nobody really knows, very private process. But I used to see a lot of BWs going there that looked very suspicious and very ratchet and hood. And I'm thinking to myself, is this shit part of the agenda? This is deep, to make it look like black men are all deadbeat dads, bro. Is this part of some wicked agenda where these bros are getting paid secretly, maybe under the table, to keep those stats looking like that? Because it's all about the optic and illusion. That's one thing Esau, the Edomite, which is Edomite right there, that's one thing Esau is good at. The narrative of making black American indigenous people and genetic Yahudim people, the 380,000 descendants of slaves, okay, it's 43 million plus foundational black Americans, but only 380,000 came here through the mid-Atlantic slave trade and chattel slavery, okay, to North America. So, but we got an ethnogenesis with that DNA mix, like me and Brother Beacon was talking about the other day. That DNA mixed with the indigenous black people here. I got both DNA in me. Most of y'all do too, even if y'all don't know it. Okay, E1B1A was the blood type of the 380,000 genetic Hebrew Israelites that was taken into bondage. That was basically Christ's bloodline people. By the way, no joke. I'm not even playing. That's why they did. That's why it was a bounty, a slave bounty on their heads and all that. They weren't taken captive and all that for no reason. They were a specific bloodline, and the elites all know that. But anyway, that the bloodline of the Hamashiach mixed in with the indigenous peoples who black Americans are. Just if y'all don't understand and get confused on that, that's why people say that black Americans are the tribe of Judah, because technically they are. Our bloodline is 100. Some of our bloodline is 100% Yahudim, right? Which is Messianic DNA. Some of our bloodlines are a little watered down with, I don't want to say watered down, because the black indigenous people here was amazing too. Choctaw, they was all warrior class. Choctaw, Black Seminoles, Mariske, Wasabi, you name it. Tamari Khan, Amadu Khans, all of the secret DNA they don't tell y'all about, all right? They only tell you about the red natives, okay, and the West Africans, who you think are West Africans, who really weren't technically West Africans, okay? So I always throw that DNA piece in there so you understand the blood quantum. But anyway, back to it's a lot of queens and masculine Nisha and KKK Keishas out here today. I'm gonna make sure I put my Hail Mary instrumental on when I go into my store, you know what I'm saying, and do my cardio, a little walking around, and you know what I'm saying, because that shields that instrumental is aura maxing, and it shields a sense of protection. You know what I'm saying? Because masculine Nishas, they've been programmed to hate on masculine black men so much that they see them masculine black men as competition as opposed to a companion, okay? It's real trippy stuff, man. Making sure my video's still going, okay? It's real trippy stuff, right? So don't ever be surprised if a group of masculine Nishas, much like a hyena clique, just start randomly laughing when you get real masculine and you walk into a room and this and that. They do things like that, but I noticed with the instrumentals playing, it tones a lot of that down, because it's like a lion walking into the room. The alpha, a majestic super alpha lion walking into it gives off that vibe, okay? That vibe becomes what's given off. Super masculine alpha walking into a building, into a room when that instrumental was playing, because these females they do things like think every man is a sucker, not only ugly and think every man stink. They do things like think every man is some kind of a sucker. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, not every man. They don't do that with Esau. They do that with every black man. They've been programmed and brainwashed to think that every black man is a hostile competitor of theirs that they look down on, and they supersede in intelligence because of pseudo-academia and the degrees that they got. And by the way, when it comes to degrees, I have too, but a degree is nothing, because it's only the degree in which you stop learning, and that's what these black women don't get. And most of them are so pissed off. Like one right now literally has a shirt on that says love is where it's at. But if you look at her, she looks like pure hate. Boxy built. See, they get mad that brothers don't want to talk to them because of their attitude with a scowl on her face. So angry. And a person like her, I've seen females like this, and I've experienced it, where they will actually literally start fights, arguments, recklessness, there's 3 more of them, with innocent black men, because they are actually pissed off that we don't want to engage and converse with them anymore, and we don't want to share space and energy with them anymore. Real talk. we like to turn our back on them and go the other way. They hate that we making our lats bigger and our backs bigger so we can turn our back like a projector screen. And they hate when you work out. Oh, and they hate when you have a beautiful Latina. I got hated on so hard by them. I got fired from a job because I met my soulmate. You know what I'm saying? On the clock last year. And it don't matter where, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you work at Whack Arnold's, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same. Corporate Confield, like I said, whether you work at Whack Arnold's or Fortune 500, it's really all the same. Only thing difference is money. Corporate policy always puts so much restraint and constraints on black men, in my opinion, okay? That's one thing I agree with Brother Kwame Brown about. Okay, corporate policy is a mother effort on black men. It really is. It's wild. You got to be so neutered. That's why I came up with the concept corporate confield, corporate plantation matrix. That's what it really is. I don't miss being on the corporate confields, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's masculinisha central out here today, man. And this is like the 6 or 7 KKK Keisha masculinisha. You might say, "Oh, Ronnie, how dare you say that and judge people so quick?" When you have spiritual discernment and El Ruach HaKodesh, it's a spiritual and physical and literal survival mechanism that's instinctual to you. You know right away. It's kind of like having that demon face syndrome. You know right away, okay, when you're around bad energy based on the. Let me tell y'all a little secret, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna come back to y'all. I'm gonna tell you something. When people have bad attitudes, that precedes bad manners. When people have bad manners, that precedes bad morality to no morality, to low morality. So that means that precedes satanic, hasatanic, low vibrational frequency, Beelzebub energy. Okay? Trust me on this. You don't have to take it from me, but if I was you, I would take that from me. This is a fact. So anytime you see somebody always got a scowl, especially a female always got a scowl and anger on their face, that usually precedes very, very hazardous behavior. Like we say, they say toxic behavior. I say it's radioactive behavior. It's more radioactive than the wolves of Chernobyl. And if you know, you know, bro. That's Iranianism, gorilla biscuit right there. A lot of these so-called sisters, queens, you know what I'm saying? KKK Keisha and them, the scowls and the pissed off anger, they're radiating a lot of over-aggressiveness just on baseline body language, and it's not necessary. And then they lie to the world and say, oh, they got to be like that because the black men are so hostile in the hood. One, everybody don't live in no fucking hood. I'm tired of that hood association bullshit too, okay? You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't live in no fucking hood. Middle class and upper class black people exist too, damn it. Real talking, you can clip that and put it on YouTube. Because that people don't know that. People saying that hood shit all the time, that plays into the stereotypes and tropes and epithets of bullshit too with that so-called black fatigue shit. You know what I'm saying? We can't always rep hood, all this old hood bullshit. That ain't about nothing. We don't own none of these hoods. That hood shit ain't shit. But these bitches are lying, bro, when they talking about hood. Or just talking about black men being hostile. Most black men, I've even seen thugs out here be polite and gentlemanlike. Pookie and them even, to these hostile black women. So they're lying about why they have to be so mean. And they'll say, oh, it's because of the white man. They're lying about that too, because Esau typically mainly targets us innocent black men, typically. Esau actually kisses these black women ass too, or give them more jobs. They don't want the DEI hires and shit like that. Them and Fruitopian guys. Real talk. Skittles-based oriented guys, those be the DI hires. It don't be no masculine black men. So there's nothing black men have done, and that's why I say it was the unwanted spiritual war. It was like the unjust spiritual war. Black women blame black men for all things that we never done, and that's the craziest mindfuck ever. It's one thing if it's like, okay, a motherfucker did something. If black men collectively did something bad to black women, and they were mad at us for that would be some different shit. But they'll try to make it seem like every black man are deadbeat dads and shit, and it's not true. Okay, it's not true. Black men didn't do nothing collectively bad to black women. It's a big lie to create that gender divide, right? It would be understandable if they were mad because black men did some bullshit. Black men did nothing to these women, bro. Nothing. Okay? And am I saying there was no such thing as some deadbeat dads out there? No, I'm not saying that. That would be preposterous, but that's in every community. That's not just a monolithic or unilateral to black men. You know what I'm saying? So I just get tired of the bullshit that they propagate about us black men, like we're just savages and they got to be all hostile and aggressive in society, or else black men don't snap. That's such lies, bro. Black men are way more peacefully monkish and Christ-like by far. Even, bro, I'm telling you, in comparison to the females, black men are monks. Period. Black men are like saints and scribes, bro. And all around the world in comparison to the black women. I don't care what nobody say. To me, from my experience, black women are 10,000 times more violent than black men. 10,000. Only difference is when black men, of course, men are men, so they one up certain things. So in the streets, men tend to, go overly far, I'll say, against each other. Okay, but that ain't cool. But that's about the only place black men are overly more violent. But in general personality and morals and general interaction, I don't care what nobody in this world say. Black men are way nicer than any black woman. And even other races of people, they lie, but they know that. They lie because of the mythos in the propaganda for the proper goose that they put, the Birth of a Nation media programming that they put on black men, act like we're hostile, even if a black man's defending themselves from racism. And that's all another video I got to make. Okay? Because when it's like illegal for a black man to defend themselves from physical assaults and racism and shit like that, which is wild. It's insanity. That's demonic. And for that, God will put roots on people. See, people don't know. They be worried about black men. It's our God that curses. Our God, Yahuwah, curses Esau. He curses the wicked who hate us. And Christ, Yahushua, is already back, by the way. Yahushua is back and Yahushua is black. He comes back in spirit. See, people mix it up in the Bible. And they don't know what they be reading. They don't know the esoteric play going on. They think Christ is coming back in a physical form, and that's not what's going on. He comes back in the spiritual form, and I'm telling you right now, he's already back. That's why certain elites and shit like that, they're moving very carefully because Christ is already back. I'm telling you. And it started. Christ came back around the time that lightning hit that tree and it fell on that Confederate museum, the largest Confederate museum that was in America. Christ came back around that time. Same time Lake Lanier drowned a lot of those racists. Same time people were talking about black fatigue, and then all of a sudden the sundown towns where that video went viral from flooded under sinkholes or whatever, rainstorms and tornadoes. I'm telling you, Christ came. Yahushua is back here in this realm. I'm telling y'all, anything that's evil and unjust towards his people, he's going to. And I want to make a very clarification. Not me, not you, not them, not us. It's God and Christ are going to straight every evil out and balance everything out. Evil will not reign no more. And I'm not getting technical with names and none of that, so y'all know, don't get to saying, oh, you're this person and that. No. God is going to, on his own, he said he don't need none of our help. Only thing we help with is prayer, fasting, meditation, transcendental meditation, astral walking, in spiritual warfare. Like Ronnie 2 does all the time, Undefeated in the spiritual realm, right? That means in the esoteric realm where people try to do witchcraft, sorcery, warlockism, and all that, you got to be super strong with the blue dome over you spiritually to block out all of that. That's how you become undefeated in the spiritual war. And you have serious spiritual combat in the astral realm, right? Like I'm like Bruce Lee in the astral realm. If you know, you know. I'm like John Jones in the astral realm, in the spiritual realm. No, undefeated.